Alright, I'm going to show y'all today how to make Biggun's all-in chili. Why do we call it all-in chili? Because everybody always asks me, you going to put all that in the chili? And I'm like, yeah, I'm putting all that in the chili. So I start out with one medium-sized ribeye of good to high quality and a pack of slow cooker beef of low quality that's meant for slow cooker. You know, just kind of add some extra meat there. Take both of those, you know, chop them into decent sized chunks like you see. Let's see if I can get a chunk here. A chunk, yeah, that's a decent sized chunk right there. Chunk them up. Put them in with some teriyaki, a liberal amount. Put them in the fridge overnight. Then in the morning, I'll start out with my mega pack of Walmart bacon, thick cut. Put that whole dang thing in the oven for about 15-20 minutes on 400. I drain off the bacon love, aka grease, into my skillet. And I then take my 2 pounds of, what would you call it? Mega pack of, like a cheap tube of meat from Walmart. It's like a, you know, like 85, 15 or whatever, ground beef. Cut it into like decent sized chunks. You don't want to make it really tiny, like little tiny pieces, like decent sized chunks, like you're making almost like meatballs with it. And, you know, saute that up a little bit, brown it up in a pan. Add, this is a good one here. Add a pack of this, which is the Carol Shelby's chili kit. And yeah, we made it hot because it's just one pack of this. And then I did about a pack and a half of the McCormick's mild chili. Sauteed it up, you know, decent, browned it to where it was not completely done, but done enough to go into the big Ostermoster. I guess you call this a roasted pan, but I call it my chili pan because I like to make a ton of chili. So then after I do that, put it in there. Then I'm going to put my ribeye and my other meat in here, brown it up a little bit, kind of more rare than medium rare, just get a nice brown on the edges, throw it in there too. Then I put my big old can of crushed tomatoes with tomato puree, then a big can of diced tomatoes and tomato juice, 2 cans of black beans, 2 cans of red beans, 2 cans of dark red kidney beans, 1 can of cannellini beans. I don't even know what those are, but I wanted something for some extra color. Pinto beans, a can of whole kernel corn, golden sweet, you know what I mean. Then 4 cans of Riggedy Rotel, original diced tomatoes and green chilies. A can of your tomato paste, then a can of Goya chickpeas. I put all those in, mixed the bad boy up, had it going, put it at about 250 or so, because I'm going to cook it all day basically. Then I take my 2 sweet onions, Vidalia, pretty big sized ones, and big old boys there. Chop them up with this bad son of a biscuit eater right here. Look at this thing. Look at that double whammy. Just be like, ka-ka, 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 pa! Chop it up with that. And like 1 really big green pepper, 1 really big red pepper, and then 1 orange one or yellow or whatever, just for some color and some peppers. And then 1 can of this. But if you don't like hot, like decent hot, then I would take the peppers out and just put the juice, and there's like little bits of like juiced up warm like onions in there too, because these peppers are pretty hot. So I'm gonna save these to add myself because the rest of the family don't like it as hot as me. So saute those up in this bad mamma jamma here. And yes, it burned my lungs a little bit because it was kind of hot. Then I added that to that big old mixture there. And we take us the active ingredient, which is this cold turkey, wild turkey 101, as Forrest calls the kickin' chicken. And we get us a nice, good, decent size serving of it. And we pour that in there too, and we mix it up. I had to pour this, you know, to show you how much needs to be poured, and also because I'm thirsty. Oh, that is kicking chicken right there, I tell you, boy. Yeah. Then for spices, on top of the chili powder, we're gonna do three tablespoons of cocoa powder. And we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of ground cumin, 1 tablespoon of coriander, half a cup of fresh cilantro, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. I think I did 2 tablespoons of cinnamon because I like cinnamon in it. 1 tablespoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and that's Dixie. She's trying to eat her foot. You eating your foot? The chili's up here. Quit eating your foot. All right, we're back. So, and garlic powder. Then we did half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg and a half a teaspoon of allspice. So I put that all in together, had it cook, I don't know, for about 3 or 4 hours at that 250 setting. And then I cooked it for about another hour or so at 200. And you can kind of add other stuff. I mean, this is not like one recipe. It's multiple different recipes that I used. Oh yeah, and there was I think I did a tablespoon of this in there too. Oh, and then a decent amount of this good libation here, salt, and one 12-ounce Budweiser, and that about does it. And Dixie, stop eating your foot. Stop eating your foot. I don't know what her deal is, but she's eating her foot. So, but yeah, it's good stuff. The wild turkey gives it a little bit of flavor, a lot of bit of flavor. And don't worry, it's not going to get you drunk because it cooks out the alcohol. It just leaves the flavor. So, and we add our cheese to it later. And some sour cream. And of course, can't forget the Fritos. Good stuff. Give a little bit of crunch. And hope you enjoy. Try it out sometime. If you're just making one crock pot, just half my recipe, because this is basically like two decent sized crock pots. So just half my recipe. And have a great day, and enjoy the chili. Peace out.